but I didn't, yeah.
Maybe they shouldn't be playing well.
Arthur Lewis, you can't get out of signing Arthur to budget reaction.
There's a meeting tonight in the PN over development of a big box.
I'd be interested in that.
Yeah.
All right. Paul does airport, since he's fond of flying.
We can trust him.
Well,
I'll check into the funeral and see, although it's a long shot.
It's probably just a VO, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Did we get a picture of the boy?
No. We just took it off the paper. I don't know where they got it. They may have gotten it from the school.
Hello, Steve Fischer, CBC. I'm doing something on this follow-up today on the accident that killed that 10-year-old boy on Sunday. It's been handed over to SIU, right? Do you have a contact number with them? I just wanted to see the status of the investigation. A 10-year-old boy was killed on Sunday crossing a fairly busy street. It is most likely that he was crossing on a red, although I've heard some indication that there's a chance that he was crossing on a green. He was hit by a patrol car, and so it's worth checking to see if the family wants to talk about it. Yesterday I tried to get at it, and the family wasn't up to talking about it, but they seem to want us, or at least not mind us being at the funeral today, and so we'll go there and make contacts. Yes? Yeah. Okay, I'll actually take it, yeah. 5037? This is my contact on this story. Hi. They actually want some coverage on this, or what was your read on it? Yes, is Rada Dibidin? Yes, it's Steve Fischer from CBC calling. I was wondering, we are interested in covering the funeral today, if possible, and I just wanted to find out how the family felt about that. Vivek's parents do not want to speak. Okay, that's fine, and I will certainly keep our distance from them. Okay. Now, do you have a picture of Vivek that we could use? I could give it right back to you. It's just that I'd appreciate that very much. Just a little background information. He knew his rules of the road. I was talking to Public Affairs. They said to give you a ring, see if you could help me. I'm trying to find out if there have been any other injuries or fatalities involving children pedestrians lately or since January. Can you think of any? Yeah, and 2 pedestrian fatalities this year so far. Injuries, there probably have been some injuries. Would it be fair to say like a dozen a year or more or less? Or? I'm starting to plot it out. I have a few minutes, so I'm figuring out what elements I'll get. I'll probably interview a couple of family members, and we'll get some sort of a procession shot. But did you know directly if Vivek knew the rules of the road? And
but yeah, I'm sure he knew the rules of the road just like any other kid his age would. But beyond that, the details of the incident, we really don't know.
Well, probably the best story here is to, you know, as a warning to other kids. I've tried to compile some statistics on how often this happens. It's a worthwhile story to do. Tripod I find valuable, you know, like I mean, for this kind of stuff, there's something to be said for being far away and then using your zooming right in, you know, you're not in their face, and you get better television because they're not worried about you, they're not thinking about you, and they're just being themselves. Okay, now, can I do an interview with you about those issues? And you know what I'd probably like to do is just illustrate it by getting you to show me about the pointing and walking stuff.
We start to cross the road. And as we cross the road, we make sure that there's nothing coming, no hazards. Make sure this guy is going to stop.
This is the second pedestrian fatality involving This is the second pedestrian fatality involving a child in our region in the past 3 years. But safety officials say up to 100 children are injured each year in pedestrian accidents, usually because they don't follow the rules of the road.
I have no idea. I'm sure he knew the rules of the road just like any other kid his age would, but he didn't have the details of the incident.
They came to say goodbye to a 10-year-old boy today. Parents, relatives, and many friends of Vivek Debadan. Relatives and many friends of Vivek Debadan.
Anytime something like this happens, it's always hard. Just
I'm going to cut to the picture of the kid at the end there, and we can cover that one through the clip, through the first part of the clip.
Actually, back it up a bit more, you'll have a static wide.
On Newsday.
A funeral was held today for a 10-year-old boy struck and killed by a police cruiser on Sunday. Vivek Debadan was remembered as an intelligent, happy child. Family members tell Newsday's Steve Fischer they still can't understand how the accident happened.
They came to say goodbye to a 10-year-old boy today. Parents, relatives, and many friends of Vivek Debadan.
anytime something like this happens, it's always hard. Just it's no different than anyone else's child. It's terrible no matter how you want to cut it or look at it.
Vivek died after he was hit by a police car at a West End intersection Sunday afternoon. Witnesses say the boy was crossing on a red light. Because a police officer was involved, the Special Investigations Unit has been called in. This is the second pedestrian fatality involving a child in our region in the past 3 years. But safety officials say up to 100 children are injured each year in pedestrian accidents because they don't follow the rules of the road. It's more than simply crossing with the light at the intersection.
So we stick our hand out to make ourselves bigger. We look all ways to make sure that there's no traffic moving that shouldn't be, and then we start to cross the road. And as we cross the road, we make sure that there's nothing coming, no hazards. Well, we don't encourage running because running, the kids get excited sometimes. If they start to run, they could trip.
Vivek's family says he knew enough to be cautious in traffic and can't understand what happened Sunday.
I'm sure he knew the rules of the road just like any other kid his age would, but beyond that, the details of the incident, we really don't know and can't really comment on it.
Vivek's school is also planning to hold a memorial service, although no date has been set. Steve Fischer, CBC News, Ottawa.